Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of this little series. I thought for today's topic, I kind of wanted to talk about the act of letting go. I feel like letting go can come in many different ways. It doesn't specifically fall under one category or is linked to like one specific thing. For example, I feel like letting go can be the act of letting go of someone you love due to death. At the same time, I feel like it could be letting go of a job. And at the same time, I think the one that people might link with letting go the most would be maybe letting go of a relationship. And I think for everybody, that'll come in different shapes and sizes depending on, I don't know, the person, right? What exactly you're dealing with at that time. So I think letting go when it comes to death can be probably one of the hardest things to deal with. Alright, so I'm gonna expand this chest. This chest is like running out of room. But yeah, I feel like death can be really difficult. To even just like accept, I feel like that comes with so much acceptance that I don't really think is too normal for the human mind, right? Like, I don't think we're born with the ability to accept the death of a loved one. I think that just seems unnatural. I think that's something you have to learn through living and through life and through the act of losing somebody. Most recently for me, I had my grandma pass away on my dad's side. And although I wasn't the closest to her, I saw the effect that death had on my family, and more specifically my dad, her son. So I got to see basically one of the first times in my life my dad be emotionally vulnerable. It was like a new side of him that I hadn't really seen. He wanted to kind of refuse dealing with the grief that came with losing his mom. We were on vacation at the time, and well, because we were on vacation, he wasn't able to spend some of her final days alongside her, although she was ill. We were in vacation out of state, in the States, and she lived in Mexico. So he didn't get a chance to say goodbye. And he wanted to refuse the grieving process. He said he wanted to stay in the vacation, keep enjoying his time, and that it was okay that like she had lived her life. He had come to the acceptance of it, that it was fine. And at the time I was a decent amount younger, but obviously not too young. So I still understood exactly what was going on. He was basically just forced by my older sisters, to go, because he didn't even want to attend the funeral. Most likely he was hurting too much to want to say goodbye. Him simply not going to the funeral would be a way of not saying goodbye to his mom for good. It was a way of holding on to his mom, because if he never went, he would never have to say goodbye. But he was forced to. And he was forced to cry, and he was forced to feel, and he was forced to say goodbye. And it helped his grieving process a lot more than if he hadn't said goodbye. Instead of holding it in, he was able to let everything out. So I think letting go when it comes to death is, and I think it's an experience that a lot of people at some point in their lives will deal with, but it's something that you can't really prepare for until you, damn, I messed that jump up so many times. It's something you can't really prepare for until it happens. Once it happens, if it happens, I think one of the most important things is just to remember the importance of feeling, because letting go doesn't really mean saying goodbye like for good. I know my dad still visits my grandma's burial site, her tomb, as often as he can when he's in Mexico. And I know he still speaks to her. So it wasn't a full-blown goodbye, but it's letting go. And that letting go comes alongside acceptance. And it comes alongside that grieving process. And acceptance helps you get over the fact that you have to let go of that person. And I just think again, it's not something you can prepare for. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shoot, oh shit. I know for a fact that my dad wasn't ready for it. Although he had dealt with death in his past, even death comes with its own levels, right? The death of a family pet might not feel as strong as the death of a parent. I think letting go in terms of death is harder than most things to let go of. And then, I don't know, switching topics. Alright, well, sorry, I had some technical difficulties, so I had to bottle myself up so I wouldn't die. But anyways, I think letting go when it comes to jobs can be bittersweet in a way. For example, most recently with my girlfriend, she had to leave her job in order to be open to better opportunities. And it was mostly due to the job just not being too good. She enjoyed it. She loves clothes, and it was like a thrift store, so she loved being able to get clothes from her job. But they just weren't treating her right. They weren't prioritizing her right. They weren't giving her what she was deserving of for the amount of work that they were giving her. Kind of just poor management on their side, right? I want to get a sapling of this pink tree to at least just grow some by my house, but I keep getting attacked the second I go near that pink tree. So although she knew that the best option was to leave, it was extremely hard for her to do so. Although it would have been really easy for that job to let go of her, which in a sense is a good transition into the other form of letting go, which is relationships. There's many different reasons why you might need to let go of a relationship in your life. Maybe it's just over. Maybe it's gone toxic. Maybe you grew apart. So for her and her job, it was what could easily be considered just a toxic relationship at that point. They kind of kept putting more onto her plate without increasing any form of pay. She was basically working as a higher level position while getting paid and having the name of a lower level position. So that was just an extremely one-sided relationship to have. It was basically just a toxic relationship at that point, right? So why proceed with that relationship when there is better opportunities out there, right? I think that's a good reminder for when it comes to letting go. It's just there can always be something better for you out there. And if you don't have the willpower to let go of what you are in and the situations you are in, the people you are with, you might never have the chance to discover something that could have been better in the future. So I mean, be willing to let go of stuff. Don't hold on to materialistic things. And don't hold on to toxic things. Don't hold on to those toxic relationships. Don't hold on to things that may be holding you back in life. And it's difficult. It's difficult to be able to reflect upon yourself and understand that you might be in a toxic relationship, that the situation you're in might not be good for you. I don't know. It definitely takes basically some form of practice, right? It's not something that you're just gonna understand one day and just be able to apply it without thinking about it or anything. It's much easier said than done in that way. But I think once you are able to let go of things that aren't good for you and be able to recognize those things that aren't good for you, being able to let go of situations, of people, of relationships, it's extremely beneficial to your life in the long term, because you don't constantly have the chance of holding on to something toxic, of like being with someone toxic, of grieving for longer than you need to, because you have the willpower to basically just not. I know in my life I've had to let go of people. I've had to let go of a lot of people. I've had to take a step back and recognize that some people in my life just weren't good for me. I had to accept the fact that some people were basically just toxic for me. They were not good for my mental health, not good for my physical health, not good for anything, you know. And although I loved those people, although I was close to those people, although those people were in my life for as long as I could remember, I had to come to terms with that. Once again, going back to the acceptance aspect of it all. And learning to let go was definitely a journey. I mostly learned that through therapy. This doesn't apply to everybody, but I know I'm religious, and I know that I believe in God. So through my religion, I was able to find a level of acceptance that helped me move on, helped me let go, helped me overcome. And I don't force that onto anybody. And I'm not going to say that that's the only way that you can fix your problems is religion. Like, that's not that, because that's just simply not true. There's many ways that you can solve your problems. Religion might not be for everybody. Okay. I was just spreading out the saplings so I could make sure that they could grow well. But that looks really cool, actually. These little pink trees around here. I gotta get rid of those green leaves. I should have waited until they despawned. But yeah, I mean, overall, I know my personal journey was hard and long. Pause. It was just difficult in my life. It took me basically years to overcome what I had to deal with. And it took me a really long time to just understand the aspect of letting go. Why it's good. Why acceptance is good. How that leads to just being able to overcome things, right? Like, it's, once again, not something you're born with, but mostly something you learn throughout life. And something that life kind of ends up teaching you. And I think that's really, like, in a sense, like, beautiful, right? The fact that you're not born with all this knowledge, the fact that you have to live to learn, and the fact that life has to teach you things for you to grow as a person, and for you to be able to be the person you want to become, be able to achieve the things you want to achieve. You have to live and learn and fail, right? I think in a sense that's a large beauty of life. So, oh shoot, did I throw you, bro? My bad. Overall, I feel like just letting go maybe just has like a bad reputation attached to it. But for my personal life, for my personal experiences, and what I've grown from, what I've learned from, what I've lived, I know that letting go, no matter in what sense it's come with in my life, it's eventually led to personal growth. It's led to me overcoming so many things in my life, so many situations, so much struggle mentally, physically, doesn't matter what. Emotionally, letting go just helped with everything. So just learn to let go. Learn that letting go isn't bad. And I feel like learning to let go can truly change somebody's life for the better. So yeah, that's basically everything. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Gang, what is you doing up here? Get out of here. What? Oh, great, bro. This is what you get. This is what you get for exploring. This is what you get. got a baby zombie on top of you, bro? I'm closing the chimney. What the hell was that? What?